Good morning, people. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Spirit Journey. And yes, good morning, Saturday. It is March 4th, 2023, and it is raining outside. Yep, I just started to say to stay in. Me and the gang here, my little fur balls. Yes, they're right in bed with me. That's Lily, Lavender, and Lilac. Yes, just me, just relaxing. And yeah, well, I want to talk about some things here. Well, I hope, again, that your day is doing well. I want to talk about various topics based on some of the videos I've been watching. Just find out what you might think about certain things. Well, first thing I want to talk about my anniversary from yesterday. I want to talk about this YouTuber who did a travel video, and I thought the information was very important, so I want to talk about that. Music industry with the rap or hip hop community. Um, yeah, and let's see, yeah, a travel video. Um, they're all important, I think. And it just goes to show you the signs of the time, and I think a lot of things are just are interconnected, and about freedom. It's all about your personal freedom and intimidation to take away that freedom. So let me begin. Yeah, yesterday was my 20th anniversary. My 20th anniversary of living here in this apartment. It's a beautiful building, and want to give thanks about it. I this is the longest I've ever been in one place. Outside of my childhood home, and I'm very happy about that. So I want to give thanks for that. Thank the universe for making it happen. Very appreciative. And how I celebrate, I did go out yesterday, and yeah, early. And I said, I want to do something a little different. Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning, viewer, good morning. Um, so I knew I wanted to get a little treat for myself and my little fur balls here. So as I know, I want to buy some ground beef. I want to make a giant hamburger. Yes, I've done this before. Yes, yeah, I want to eat a little bit more proteins and fats, and low carbs. Yeah, I feel like my body fat is um, increasing a little bit too much. And even though I walk almost every day, I still feel that I want to I need to watch my weight a little better. um, so I want to go low carbs, and I wanted to treat myself out also. And I made this great burger. Yeah, I bought the ground beef, grass fed, from a grass fed cow. Um, what else? Yeah, no hormones and things like that added. Yeah, when I eat any red meats, I prefer that it be organic. I had eaten this beef before. I mean, uh, it could have been maybe 2 years ago. No, 4 years ago. It was pre-COVID, I think, or just before COVID. Um, I wanted to buy these red meats to help improve uh, my iron, my iron blood. I'm a little anemic. I've always been like this, and I just wanted to feel uh, more vibrant. I thought, I eat my veggies. I love my veggies, and so I said, I know I'm gonna buy these meats, these red meats. I bought these mega ribs, these beef, giant beef ribs, sirloin steak. Yeah, these prime cuts, but they were not organic, people. But I didn't think it was going to be any harm because I just wanted to do this for 2 weeks in eating some red meats. I generally don't eat red meats, but I wanted to do this to try to build up my uh, blood cell count, because sometimes I feel tired. I get tired easy sometimes. Um, so towards the end of the 2 weeks, I started, if you're a woman, I started to bleed down there like um, a light discharge, but it was blood, a blood thing. And I panicked because I haven't had a female cycle, if you know what I'm talking about, in a number of years. So I did go to my OBGYN immediately, you know, and I stopped eating that meat. Yes, I did. It cleared up. I wasn't, let's see, yeah, that was about 4 years ago. So I hardly ever eaten any red meats since then. I did have a hamburger, I think, last year, one burger last year. And that was about it for these 4 years. But I do eat chicken. And I ate fish for the first time in many years. Um, oh, no, no, maybe a little over a year fish. But I bought some fish just a couple of days ago. Yeah, so so back then, so I want to be careful about the beef that I eat. And if I'm going to eat beef and pig out on beef or, red meats, that I want it to be organic. So when I purchased the meat yesterday to celebrate my anniversary with my fur balls here, yes, um, so I got a good choice of ground beef. I bought veggies and seasoning. And yeah, I made my fur balls their breakfast first. Yes, I made it for them as well. Theirs was unseasoned, and boy, did they enjoy it. Yes, dogs do like meat. They like meat. So after they were fed, then I made mine. And yes, I made a giant hamburger. It could have been, oh, it could have been a half a pound, but it could have been close to a half a pound. Yeah, it was a big wad of meat. And then I mixed it with mushrooms. I cut up some mushrooms, garlic cloves, red onions, and I mixed it with it, a little salt and pepper. And then I also bought these veggies. Yeah, yeah, steamed these veggies. I over steamed the veggies. Yeah, I, I steamed cauliflower. Um, oh, what else? Yeah, it was a bunch of stuff in there. But I over steamed it, so it was very soft. But I like soft food anyhow, and I like the taste. So that's what I did yesterday. I made my giant hamburger with my veggies. Oh, I had my white chocolate. Yeah, I might have eaten a little bit too much of the white chocolate. Yeah, I can't eat dark chocolate anymore. I don't, I mean, I used to be like everybody else and like chocolate, milk chocolate, but have an aversion to chocolate now. But the white chocolate doesn't have that particular aftertaste that has been bothering me with milk chocolate or the dark chocolate. And white chocolate, it's just as fat. So I was trying to promote a protein fat dominated meal. And so, yes, I did indulge. I ate like half of the white chocolate bar. It was those thin chocolate bars that I ate. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And what else? Oh, I had these raw nuts, just like maybe a third of a cup of raw nuts with whole milk yogurt. Yeah, if you're gonna have yogurt, it's better to get the whole milk rather than the skim milk one, because you know the vitamins and other components are stored in the fat of that milk. You know, and so you want to get access to that. You know, you don't have to eat a lot of it, just a little bit of the whole milk. Yeah, you notice also, yeah, they try to push this skim milk, this and that, and it's really not good for you. Wholesome fats are actually good for you. You just want to stay away from fats that are hydrogenated. The hydrogenation of fats is what causes a lot of cardiovascular disease, you know. Um, and again, unfortunately, American milk is highly pasteurized. That's a process when they cook the milk. So basically, a lot of the milk now is dead milk because it's highly cooked. So all the real vitamins, true, enzymes in that milk is all dead. And then it's skim milk at that. Don't you ever wonder why a lot of us are really getting, looking like Porky Pig? Yeah. They're promoting high carb diet with a lot of salt and hydrogenated fats like margarine, oxidized fats. Those are a no-no, but wholesome fats that are in like avocado, um, other vegetables, and even some meats. Again, with meats in moderation, you know. But yeah, I see that I've been gaining a little, uh, getting a little tummy, and I don't like that. Yeah, it started about 2 years ago, and yeah, all of us got gain weight. Me and my dogs, we gained weight in January, last year in January. We kind of stayed in a little bit. It was raining a lot, and I took the that January off, and then but February and on, I did went out for my walks and everything. But the tummy remembered. It clung on to that fat boy. So yeah, so I just want to cut down on the carbs. Yeah, those carbs. You notice that people who eat a lot of white rice. You notice they pile on that white rice on your plate. Yeah, that it also clings to your hips too. You know, and yeah, it happens. So I mean, I love carbs. Who doesn't? But so I want to curb away from the carbs and try to um, see if it works. Yeah, I need to continue doing my walks. I walk like 3 hours a day. Sometimes 4 hours I'm out there walking. So I still need to keep my physical activity. And what else? And modify my diet. Yeah, because I want to preserve my health. So yeah, I love my veggies, so I have to um, focus on low carb veggies like broccoli. I think they also said like cabbage. Yeah, things like that. Carrots is high carbs, boy. That will pack on that weight. As people what they want to quit smoking, then they chew on these carrots. You notice how big they get. So carrots are no, no. I'm not going to eat any carrots. No, potatoes is a carb, but it 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 it's not as caloric at if you eat it plain, it's not as bad. But and it fills you up. Yeah, I want to try to eat foods that fill me up. I know I feel hungry these days. Um, and it doesn't help because I do like watching now the food channels. Yeah, I like exotic food. I like spicy food. That doesn't help. It is what it is. I'm being honest with myself, honest with you guys. Yes, I do like watching food channels. I like exotic foods from Trinidad. I like those Indo-Caribbean foods from Trinidad. Um, and I like messy, sloppy looking food. Yeah, I do. I really do. And what else? Yeah, so that was my meal from yesterday. It was just to celebrate my 20th anniversary, living in this building, living in this, the same area for 20 straight years. And I also found out yesterday that my super, for all these years, he and his wife are being treated. Well, he's being treated for cancer. His wife has cancer, they told me, and him. I did talk about it yesterday, I think, in my video. Thank you for this thumbs up. Yeah, I really feel badly. And it really got me thinking about my life. Um, yeah, I start to think, I want to be happy. I want a happy life. And reevaluating still, you know, um, do I still want to move? Yes, I want to move. I really do. I want to live where I'd be happy. I'm not happy here in New York City. I mean, I love going to Central Park. It's dangerous, the area, I mean, not Central Park itself, but on my way to Central Park in the morning, certain times, it's um, high crime. I mean, I love New York City. It is I think, the best city in the world, but it's really going down. And the lifestyle of Black America in New York City is probably on the bottom of the bottom. I'm very depressed about what I see. And so when I found out that my super, yeah, if I said landlord, I meant to say super. My super, who lives in the building, um, you know, he officially retired this past January, and here he's being treated chemotherapy, and that he's getting both treatments. They have these two treatments for cancer. And I bumped into him in the elevator. I was no 2 days ago that I found out, not yesterday, but 2 days ago. And he's walking with a cane, and bizarre behavior. Um, and then I went back to the desk to find, hey, what's wrong with the super? And they told me. So he was a dedicated worker here, and he was not perfect, but here, to complete your time here, retiring in this past January, and you're being treated for cancer. He lost weight. He's walking with a cane. I spoke to him just a couple of months ago, and everything. Yeah, I spoke to him maybe around August or September of last year. Everything seemed cool. They said that, yeah, around close to his retirement time, he got diagnosed for cancer. So yes, I really hope he does, gets better. He has his second home. Yeah, he has another home outside. So he was supposed to move completely, stay the month of January, and then leave. We have a new super here now. I haven't met that person yet. Um, but now he's like stuck here, and so that he could continue his chemotherapy. And he's weak, and he lost a lot of weight. Bizarre behavior. So I really feel sad, and yeah, as I mentioned before. So yeah, so this leads into the second part of this live stream about moving to different places. I want to be happy, and I want you guys happy who are listening. Life is short, and you can invest your life at a job or something, and then you find out at the end you can't enjoy your retirement because you're dying. You really have, really have to reevaluate how you want to live your life. Do you want to live your life in materialism, or you want to live it with, a spiritual one? I want to live a spiritual one. And it's hard for me to focus on good things, on positive things when I see decay around me. And that's why I was really thinking yesterday when I went for my walk with my dogs. Um, Maybe, rethink about where I want to move to. Because again, many of you know that I was going to move last October to Rwanda, but it all fell through. And that maybe it was to actually protect me. Yes, just some weird things started happening. And the things that I found out is, hey, it's not good for me to go there, at least there. But I like to maybe try to find out other alternatives where I could move to. I want to live the rest of my life. Yeah, I turned 60 years old, people. Those of you who don't realize how old I am. Yes, I turned 60 in December. And I want to live my life to the full. Um, I'm a New Yorker by birth and born and raised here, and life is very difficult. And learning about my super, I really, really want to be sure about the lifestyle I want to live. I want to live a clean, wholesome lifestyle. So I really have to do some thinking. And yes, the uh, travel are changing now. Yes, that's also what I want to talk about travel. I get the feeling that the system doesn't want people to travel, to move abroad. And this is why, some of the things that I'm hearing about over social media. I just watched this video. This man who he's from Italy, and he majored in the hospitality industry, and he got a job offer in the famous city of Dubai. Yes, Dubai is a city and not a country. It's the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Emirates. And he got an offer working at a hotel. And when he was in college, he did an internship at the same type of, same hotel company ownership. And so when he got an offer in Dubai, yeah, he worked in a different country, and then in Italy in his major, and then when he graduated, he got the job offer in the city of Dubai in the Middle East, and he was told up front um, that he had to submit his passport and that they'll hold it for him. Hear that they'll hold his passport for him. And he was younger. He was 23 years old, and he would have room and board. That means a place to stay and food, and some pocket money. And he'll work 6 days a week. Well, he was supposed to work, like you know, a certain number of hours, but they they kept on extending the number of hours he had work per day, like 12 hours or more a day. And they told him that he couldn't get his passport until it was vacation time for him. He was to get a month off of vacation, for vacation. And then they told him this, people. They told him that yes, they'll give him his passport so he can go on vacation, but you have to have two sponsors, and that they have to sign the agreement and that if you don't come back, these two people will have money deducted from their check. They will deduct from each one month's pay. You heard me right. 1 month's pay they would take away if he doesn't return back from vacation. Where he went back to his country when he got his passport and he didn't come back, and the people that one person was his manager and some other person. He gave the other person he reimbursed the other person for his loss, but not his manager, because he said that his manager was in on it of the maltreatment he was getting, so he didn't pay him back the money. I mean, I'm just repeating what was said, what he said. Um, you have to be careful about these. I've heard about Dubai over the past maybe 3 years. And yes, it looks very exciting. I love watching videos on Dubai, the city of Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. I enjoy watching it. It looks very clean. But yes, I heard during this time, like they like building these big projects, these humongous buildings, and they get the people from Asia, the subcontinent, around India, like Pakistan, Bangladesh, India. They have them primarily doing the actual construction. And then they do get like the engineers, people with those type of degrees, and they live in compounds, what they call compounds. And it seems like, oh, I'm sorry, that's with, I'm sorry, Saudi Arabia, they have the compounds, but I believe Dubai does the same thing for, if you're a manager or, you know, engineers, they had their own room. Yeah, he specifically said in Dubai, he had his own room. He didn't have to share a room because he was a supervisor, while the other people, primarily from um, South Asia, uh, are crammed to a room, and he hated it. They have a bus. When you finish work for the day, they drive you back to your compound, and so it seems like they don't want you around mingling with the people or around the place. And that's another telltale sign when you're not even wanted around there. They want you away. They send you home, they drive you back, and then on your day off, they drive you back, and you do whatever you have to do. But a lot of people are tired. A lot of people are tired. Yeah, he was saying there is an exploitation of labor, and yes, over the internet, over the past 3 years, I did see some videos about people are, the Asians are living in cramped quarters, and they're falling off the buildings. Some of these people, these are poor countries, and you get, the people who do the actual building, they get even less money because they're not supervisors. They get even less pocket money, and these people send all their money back to their country. It's like another form of slavery. And my thoughts about these countries, they seem to work. I'm not going to give names, but what it reminds me of when I hear about countries that do that, like countries in the Dubai, Saudi Arabia, that how it doesn't matter if you're even a Muslim, doesn't matter, that how they treat you, how they treat non-citizens of their country if you have to work there. They get the cheap labor, And you know, this actual citizens, they give it like, it could actually be Saudi, but Dubai could be, no, Kuwait. I know Kuwait does this. Kuwait is right around Dubai also. They're all around the same area. Saudi Arabia, uh, um, UAE, Kuwait, they're all right next to each other. And the government pays the citizens money to stay home. They get paid $60,000 every month to stay at home. And so these people there, they hire cheap help from Asia and Africa. Yeah, they don't like African people either. Um, it's just horrible. And they're required to give up their passport. Even the maids, like a person work for a private individual to do, like a nanny or a cook, whatever, they confiscate their passport. And it's slavery. What they beat the women. And I feel sad about that. I'm really sad about this type of condition. I mean, I heard this over the years, over the past 3 years, and now listen to this YouTuber talking about his personal experience working in Dubai. It's sad, and here he was a European. They seem to treat Europeans a little better. Again, a lot of the Europeans are going in there with degrees. They might be engineers, they have some specialty, but I noticed that they have them working on what they call compounds. So you do not live with the locals. You live in a complex that's built by the government to house all the foreign workers who are the engineers, the mine people, the scientists and stuff like that. They don't live with the regular people. And I, why would, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I wouldn't want to feel like that. I wouldn't want to be treated like that. Because that's telling you something. But my confusion about that practice is the that part of the world are building all these mega projects, and it's really catering to what they call Westerners like America, like Canada, like Britain or Germany. Okay, so if you don't like these people, why are you building an infrastructure that is to cater to the people you don't like, that you really don't like? They're not of your religion primarily, right? They're usually a Christian based background, right? Um, so you start to wonder. You have to start wondering, well, what common sense do they have? I mean, they're using a lot of wisdom, the people in this Middle Eastern area, wisdom that they know their oil is going to run dry. And so they're building all this infrastructure, these mega projects, these luxurious homes, these high-rise buildings, and you have entertainment centers. Who are they catering to but the Westerner? Now, I say, people don't eat where you sleep. And what I mean by that, don't eat where you sleep. Especially don't eat crackers where you sleep because it's going to scratch you at night, you know? And what I'm getting at is, see, when you do harm to people, when you mistreat people, especially people who are actually helping you in your own infrastructure, um, they're going to get mad. Word is going to get out, and they're going to say enough is enough, and they're going to say we're not going to go to that country to party. We're not going to do investments there because you don't want us around. And cousin so and so got harmed there, things like that. It's gonna eventually, just like that European, he's from Italy. He said enough is enough, and he got out. And I heard also that the daughter of the leader of Dubai um, is in like house arrest. I think she actually tried to she tried to escape or something, and they got her back. Yeah, just look in the on the YouTube of the daughter of daughter of Dubai or something. The princess of Dubai. Yeah, I it is seductive when you see the building. I mean, I I I was interested in seeing what it looked like because they built it up so like it's a a new paradise. And looking at here in New York City, I mean, things are going down the put. And you see all these Westerners partying there, but there's an other side of the coin. The other side of the coin is there's a price to pay for all this, and it's an illusion. Yes, it looks attractive, doesn't it? It looks real attractive. But what's going on? What is going on? So, yeah, you have people partying. And there's going to be a time and a season for everything. Because if they successfully have a transition, a movement away from gasoline, slash oil, what is going to sustain those other enterprises? They need, because there's more foreigners there, at least in like Dubai, more foreigners than actual, resident, locals. How are they going to handle that gradation of the privileged locals, that are protected by law, and then you have the expats that are living there, and the foreign workers that live there. Yeah, the locals, they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do it. They get a check, at least Kuwait, it would say they get a check, $65,000 a year, and they just stay at home, and they're getting diabetes. Um, yeah, those nations have to be very careful because karma has a way to strike back. And karma, one of the bad things about them staying at home, the locals staying at home and just uh, enjoying the money, they're overeating. They are overeating, and just look at their stomach. And I'm not trying to body shame. I'm not trying to body shame, but I mean, I come from a nutrition background, and what things that could happen metabolically when your tummy gets, when you start looking pregnant and you're a man. I'm talking about that type of tummy. Um, that's when diabetes sets in and everything that comes along with it. So you're at home and not working, and to you it's maybe a symbol of abundance and richness, but it's a price to pay. There is a price to pay to indulge like that, and when you mistreat people and you indulge, nature, you know the creator sees. The creator sees, and you better be careful. Better be very careful because see, you may not be able to enjoy that money. All these mega products, mega project projects being done, and when all things are done, do you have the health to maintain it? Do you have the health? I feel that you're going to be compromising your health, and when you overindulge like that, the mindset when someone does not pay the person who is building their infrastructure, you may have in the future those buildings start breaking down. People, if those people that they hire from Bangladesh and Pakistan, they're so tired, right? They're building these high-rise buildings that's almost like a quarter of a mile up in the air. Do you think that it's going to be the best fabrication? They'd be too tired to really pay attention to what they're doing, and they could collapse. People, it can collapse, and you piss off one of those people that long. You piss them off long enough, and they may say, you know, screw this country. I'm going to sabotage these buildings. And when my contract is up, I'm going back to my country in Asia. Yeah. Yeah, and comically, those other people deserve it. Because when you harm people, especially people who are talented workers, working hard for a wage, and even harming so-called Westerners and disrespecting their labor and then taking their passport. Yeah, they're taking away the passports from these people. Yeah, without a passport, you cannot exit a country. You cannot prove your nationality unless maybe what you can do, you go to the embassy, get a copy of your passport. Yeah, this is an idea. It just came to my mind, people. When you enter that country, the Middle East there, Dubai, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, go to your embassy where the passport you hold, make sure they have a copy and make sure they know who you are. You are a citizen of XYZ. This is my passport. Please make a copy. If something happens, I want to get out. That just came to my mind. Yeah, because they're holding the passports. They're holding the passport, these countries, so that you cannot leave. You should have the choice to leave a country or not, or job. That's your right. See, that's the problem. And what these countries remind me of, they remind me of another place that abuses people, the indigenous people of, this particular country is hijacked, and they oppress the indigenous people there, and their mindset and what they do. It's the same mindset. And I'm wondering, see, anybody could call themselves an Arab or Muslim, but what are their true identity? What are their true identity? People are calling themselves a lot of things, but if you go deep in their history, what are they really? That's what I'm getting at. And I'm seeing similarities between people from that part of the world with another group of people that are doing very well on this planet. And I'm wondering, do they have a link? When someone has the same type of mindset, behaviors, there could be a link. Okay? So I feel badly for people who, you work hard. And, in the past, I had worked for I never worked in a foreign country, but I did work at a resort. You live and work there. And so I was able to relate to that guy that was relaying his experience in the city of Dubai. And yeah, I had to work 6 days a week, 7 days a week. I forget now. It could have been 7 days a week. And then at one time we were to get a weekend off. I was to get a weekend off. And one thing also, um, Now, overall, the people that work there were okay. The bulk of them were really nice, but there was racism. Uh, I experienced biasness. Again, it wasn't everybody, but these two female there, and it was awful. Yes, I'm a person of color. It was a very bad experience, and yeah, a bad incident happened upon me. Um, Involved someone was ready to stab me in the kitchen. Yeah, I worked in the kitchen, and a cover up, and I complained about this person over the months. Yeah, yeah. You get one thing. Some work environments, are not really conducive to certain people. I'm being real. Um, I can only speculate what it would be like for, let's say, a black person working in the Arab world. Jealousies, especially I think if you're a woman, jealousies that could happen. Um, be careful. Only thing I can say is be careful about working overseas, especially if you do not look like the locals there. I mean, even if look like the locals, your accent will give you away. Your standard of living will give you away. Um, be careful and document everything. Document and keep quiet about certain things because you don't want to raise flags, but you want to be aware. And I start thinking about my situation, what I could have done. Now, I did tell the head of the village, um, I'm not going to give the name of the place that I work for, and he seemed to understand, and he seemed, he was on my side. But when the person in question, the female, did what she did to hurt me physically with a weapon, um, everything changes. And you see that people have favoritisms, and that who is, if the person that's doing the complaining or the victim, if they don't have anyone on the inside, you lose. And I just say, honey, you get your bags and leave as fast as you can. Yeah, these French guy. I mean, we work. Yeah, I worked at a place where you had a French team and an American team. I worked in the culinary team uh, with the Americans and the French. It was a good team, and but people could sit next to you and you're all joking together, but they're not your friend. They are not your friend. And one person actually wasn't even involved in the incident, was in the room when the police arrived. Like, yeah, I contacted the police. They didn't like that I called the police. The head of the head chef said, "Oh, I'll handle it. I'll handle it." I said, "Okay." So I thought he was going to talk to the perpetrator, and while he was going to talk to whoever, I went to the guard, at the front of the resort, and told them call the police. I waited for the police to come. Told the police what happened. We went to the location, and they pushed me out of the room, and they lied on me. Yes, it did. Yeah, be careful about these, if you're away from home. Yeah, I was away from home. I lived and worked there. And since the U.S., I didn't need my passport. but it's still the same type of thing. You're surrounded in a culture, like some location, the job is like the monopoly there. It's like a monopoly. They control the town and they make the rules and they can get you. They can lie on you. And let's say you want to try to get a lawyer, well, they can threaten the lawyer. And that's what happened to me. They threatened the lawyer to do bodily harm to them. And then they threatened me. I mean, not the lawyer threatened me, but this other person. Yeah. When you're dealing with labor issues, yeah, so you had a criminal issue and a labor issue at play in my instance. But they all are tied in, like with Dubai, that it was a labor issue, but it's also governmental because they have a king and prince there and everything. Yeah, so it's an absolute rulership by these people, and they could change the rules. They could say anything, and so you don't have rights. Yeah, so this person lived on it was a large hotel, and international hotel, but it's run by that country, the human resources. He had virtually no protection, people. Yeah, people are getting, you know, we used to think about slavery of the Americas, what they call chattel slavery, but this slavery now, it's just changed its form. The slavery of today is different than yesterday, but just as oppressive. When you don't have the freedom to move around, and if you threaten to leave, they have the passport, or they threaten your family. Oh, we're not going to send the money home to your family, to your bank account. Let's say you get paid and they wire they transfer it's um, deposited directly in your account. I mean, I don't know whether that's the case, but I'm just saying something like that could happen. We won't pay you, or they make an excuse. Oh, we'll pay you later, and that did happen at the resort I worked in. People weren't getting paid. Oh yeah, some people weren't getting paid. Yeah, it's a weird industry when you work at a resort. Yeah, anybody, you be careful who you make enemies with, because they may be the next person who handles your check. I'm serious, people. I'm serious. Watching that video a moment ago, this man, Italian man, uh, getting a job in Dubai. Um, yeah, I think he worked there for almost a year. And the thing, it's the people's mind. People are becoming less humane. People are becoming like oppressors. Just as a person, they may not have shackles, the metal shackles around you, but they have digital shackles, digital shackles on you, and you can't leave. You can't leave a country. You can't buy food. You're stuck there. And you have people all over South Asia, Southeast Asia, working in the Middle East. And they have to send the bodies home. Yeah. I heard one video. Every day a Filipino girl has to be shipped back home in a coffin because they're dying. It's something. Yeah, I've worked with Filipinos before. Yeah, they're hardworking, and they love their families. They'll do anything for their families, and the women, they are dying. Yes, so what goes around comes around eventually. And so right now they're riding high, and they're trying to use wisdom and building these infrastructure. But you piss off someone enough, and they could screw you royally. And they do something in the infrastructure of those buildings, and they could collapse. I wouldn't feel comfortable in those tall buildings because they said the people were falling off the buildings. Yeah, every few, I don't know the exact statistic. I know they made mention of the statistics of how many of those people building those tall buildings fall off in an accident. Yeah. When you spill blood, that land becomes cursed, people. I hope you're hearing me. I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. You become that land becomes cursed. And yes, they're riding high. And just notice the people's tummy. Notice how big it is. I mean, I'm not one to talk. I can't, I'm not trying to body shame, but I'm just noticing when you overindulge in a particular lifestyle of harming others. That's what I'm getting at. When you harm others, and it is also reflected in gluttony, uh, that's a disaster. Your health, you won't be able to enjoy it. I mean, just look at my super. He retired this past January and he's getting chemotherapy and he can hardly walk now. I mean, I just saw a couple of months ago he was fine because I was about to leave and I told him that I was leaving. Everything looked cool in him. He looked fine, but not now. Very sickly, and I feel badly. See, things happen for a reason. I mean, things can happen to anybody. It is very humbling when I got the news 2 days ago about my super. I feel very badly for him. Uh, so here in this Dubai and the rest of the Middle East, cultures like theirs, see, they're relying on, see, they're using the money that they have for the oil industry to build this infrastructure, but they're being dirty about it, and no, who want, after a while, people are going to say, I don't want to go to that country. Interesting enough, they're poo-pooing Beyonce because she visited Dubai. She was asked to perform there at one of the hotels that's just coming out. See that they rely on Westerners to give them the appearance of acceptability. That veneer of acceptability of Westerners performing and this super luxury. But behind the scenes, they're not really respecting you. They're not respecting you. And I thought it was just Asians that they were against. But that European came on YouTube and shared his personal experience, his time in Dubai, and when he had the opportunity to get his passport, he took it. And again, a reminder for them to hand him his passport so he can leave on vacation. They said, if you leave, you have to have a sponsor, and you have to get 2 people to sign you off for your vacation, and that if you don't come back, those 2 sponsors will not get paid for a month. And that's what happened. He didn't come back. Yeah, he cared for one of the 2 people. His manager, he did not give back money to. Only the other person. The other person was innocent. He reimbursed him the money he didn't get, but not the manager. The manager was complicit in his being mistreated there, you know. But yeah, he had to get out. He didn't have freedom, and they were having him do more and more work every day. The hours kept increasing. So, Beyonce recently did a concert there and was given, I think about $25 million to do it. And people were poo-pooing her. Now again, uh, there is no perfect country. And I'm not trying to contradict myself. I mean, she as an individual, um, she was invited to do a concert. So it seems like they're trying to set her up uh, with something for her to accept the job. I mean, many Americans go there. It's not like she's the only American in Dubai. You have many Americans, it's multinational. The Middle East, these areas, vacation and stuff. I mean, at least Dubai. Not Saudi, they're new with tourism. Yeah, Saudi Arabia is new with tourism, but Dubai and some other countries, they're popular with what they call Westerners. I don't think they should really poo-poo her because a lot of people go there, you know. Um, but either way, they are starting to poo-poo her. They claim about human rights. But what about China? I think she performed in China before. China had the one-child thing, and other things with China. A lot of people go to China. So I didn't think it was totally fair about specifically that place. But yeah, with regard to Beyonce, I'm going to extend this conversation regarding, the hip hop industry, the yeah hip hop rap industry. Yeah, I also watched a video about that this morning, and but think they're all related. It's about the signs of the time and us having a lack of we losing our humanity. That's why I'm sharing this video this Saturday morning. Um, yeah, again, I'm not a follower of the hip hop music industry. I mean, I don't listen to that music, and I never have. But of course, you hear it when you go in shopping, whatever. When you go to the movies, the movie theater, they play the music in the movies you watch. So, but they mentioned about oh, who was that person? Yeah, there was a YouTuber who was relaying. It was a former bodyguard of what's his name? P Diddy, and yeah, P Diddy and what's his name? Oh, Beyonce and the husband Jay Z. Yes, um, he he's a middle aged, like he could be in his 60s, and he said in the day he used to be the bodyguard with P Diddy, and he allegedly he said that he witnessed things. Um, he did mention about allegedly his sexual orientation. But even with that, because now that is a protected, one's sexuality uh, is a protected minority group. Yep, that is a protected group. So, you can't really say anything against that type of lifestyle, but he's making mention of it. And allegedly that person might have that tendency. Um, but he claimed he said that allegedly this performer asked him to do what they call a hit on um, one of the late hip hop, rap artists, the really, heavy set guy. Um, he was offered, they said, $30,000 back in the 90s. And he kept it, this person that's relaying this information um, said that he didn't say anything back then in the 90s because he had a family, he had children. But something is bothering him now, and he feels sorry that he has to speak out. And he sees that uh, people in the industry now are being coerced. Um, People are being, what do you call it, blacklisted. Like they said that like people were starting to complain about Beyonce, people who have worked with her, and that the power that this person allegedly has to stop competition. But why I'm making mention of this? Again, these are allegedly, what people allegedly did. But why I'm talking about it is again, there's a lack of humanity. I used to think that we of the black community were victims of history. But now it's like we're victimizing ourselves. We're victimizing ourselves with greed. You're a performer. You have a right to branch out. See that again? That's a form of slavery. When you can't leave your company, when you can't be your own boss. And here in this genre, you're becoming a slave. And then they reminded us that with social media, now with social media could actually protect you now because back in the 90s, we didn't have, like YouTube or Facebook, right? We didn't have those things. So what happens in private. You don't hear it. And, and the newspapers didn't really talk about the hip hop community, right? So, but now most people have access to the internet. And so you could share information and instantly people find out what's going on. So it could be protective over these victims. But still, to be blacklisted, if you say something against certain performance, that they become so powerful and that they could squash someone's career. But I'm saying, people, the, you know, the time is coming that it does your dollar won't mean anything because everything will be going digital. And so maybe right now you can get hard cash and be paid in hard cash or in stocks and bonds. But if everything is going to turn digital, they can withhold your money, right? It was that performer, this person on what was that? Yeah, there were famous people on the internet, and they got their money they got their money shut off. They have no access to the money, and yeah, that their channel was closed, and their assets, their money was closed to them. Yeah, this is a new type of slavery, people, because people are not be mindful of their humanity, of their neighbor, and it's like one fish eating a smaller fish, they're gobbling up each other. So it's no different what's happening in Dubai. There's the veneer of plush and nice living. And then here in the US with the hip hop community, you look at the videos and everybody looks like they got money and status, but it's an illusion. It's an illusion. Their lives, there's no freedom. These people aren't free. They're not free to leave. They're stuck to a contract and they're being compromised to do certain types of photo sessions. Maybe they're being forced to go to certain parties. right? All these things are happening at their expense, and we're gobbling up. Don't you notice now on the internet? At least the videos that I'm being recommended a lot for the first time. I mean, I'm 60 years old, and it's just now 1 or 2 years that everywhere that I see on the internet, at least with a lot of YouTube, are all about, the top news is all about black people. Don't you notice that? Black on black crime, Black Lives Matter. What else? Uh, P. Diddy, the Beyonce, all these news on black people. You never heard news, pop culture news, my growing up. Never. I never heard it. Now you have magazines catering to the hip hop culture or slash black culture, black American culture. Yeah. But now it seems like these uh, record industry of that genre are oppressing its uh, its performance. Why is this? How could you have people who historically have been oppressed? Why are we oppressing ourselves? Why? It's a shambles, people. It is a shambles. Yeah, it's like people are being used for further propaganda. Look at the videos. What messages? What? It's very demonic looking, in my opinion. Again, it's my opinion that a lot of the things you're seeing of the performers, whether hip hop or pop musicians, are doing very occultic ceremonies on stage. Why is this? And I feel that is going to be the future enslavement of the planet, of humanity, all humanity. They want you in a mindset of money, that money is their God. And they don't live long enough to really enjoy it. It's just for a season. And then something happens to them, right? Something happens. Just like my super, something is happening. And now he's getting chemotherapy. And he's really, really not doing well. Yeah, you're not going to live long enough to really enjoy. Yet you spend all this time, some of them, on oppressing others, preventing others to be independent souls. It's another form of slavery. And yeah, also with this travel, to go back about the travel, um, I heard that some countries now are changing requirements. Um, let's say some people here in America want to leave. They're fed up with the hip hop culture of violence, of abusing women, you know, and you want to leave the country. Well, a lot of places now, I'm just learning this particular country, they changing their requirements again, again. Some places when you want to, let's say you go to a place, and then when you want to leave it, you have to have your shots, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Could they be slowly want to imprison us again? And this past 3 years was one thing, but they might clamp down even tighter, people. They may be clamping down tighter next time. I don't know anybody who is getting, what do you call it, with that particular thing that came about almost 3 years ago, right? And then now they say, oh, you're going to be needing your shots to exit. So what does that sound like? Even if you get your passport, they may say, oh, you need this. It's another way of keeping you in prison, people. And that's what scares me. And that's also why I'm doing this video. Because I told you guys that I wanted to leave last year, but it fell through. Yeah, I gave away and sold about half of my things. Yeah, maybe a little bit more than half. Yeah, I got rid of a lot of stuff. So now I have a feeling the same thing could happen here in America. Some excuse could happen, and that you cannot leave. I just say, hey, people, if you don't have a passport, please get one. Please get one. Yeah, I got mine renewed 1 year ago, last year in January. Yeah, these passports are good for 10 years. Please get a passport for you and your family, because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. And yeah, I'm getting, I want my pets to have all their shots. Yeah, because if you have to go aboard them, they have to have their shots. Or you want to go overseas, you have to have their, they have to have their shots and stuff. And that's a whole procedure. Yeah. Um, yeah, to be prepared, because I sense, see what you see on the media. I think everything is connected to everything else. Everything, whether you're talking about the rap singers, it's a reflection of society and where it is headed to, where you can't even trust your own. You can't. You cannot really trust your own. And this is very sad. You have to have something. I mean, you have to have something that you have to, that you can trust in. This is ridiculous. I mean, yes, trust in yourself. Yes, trust yourself. Trust yourself. But I'm really concerned about society, the society that I live in, when your very own are becoming just as ruthless as their former oppressors. Who's controlling them? Are these people being controlled by other people? I don't know. What are your thoughts about it? What are your thoughts? What's happening in the media? Oh, something else I just remembered. Andrew Tate. Yeah, Andrew. I just heard of the name Andrew Tate, January of this year, 2023, and yes, he's very controversial. He's of mixed heritage, a white mother and a black American father, and he's in custody in Romania. Trumped up charges were put upon him, his brother, and two other European women. Yes, he was becoming extremely successful, and he spoke about the wrong person. This young female, yeah, he underestimated the power of this 20-year-old who looked like maybe 18. Yeah, young European girl from Scandinavia who's like the spokeschild of the climate change community. Yes, this girl has a lot of power, because when Andrew Tate said something against her, now he didn't say anything against her womanhood, but against the policy, the things about climate change he was against. And so, she tweeted back at him something really scathing. And then he did a retort video. Um, and one that when he did that retort video, the girl knew where he was located at, called somebody, and then they arrested him. He's being held in custody now. It's going to be for another 30 days. They could hold him in custody without a charge for a maximum of 6 months. People, would you want to be held in custody and no charges? There is no charge against them. They're trying to find a charge to hold him there. And they have 6 months maximum for him to stay there in custody. And then it turned out, I just heard on the internet 1 or 2 days ago that he had to go to the doctors before his held in custody about a month and a half ago. He had gone to the doctors because he said he didn't feel well. It said in his papers that he allegedly has a lesion in his lung. So you know what that means, people. Yeah, I'm wondering whether this was given him, because you know that cancers could be inflicted on people by design. You heard me right, that certain cancers you can give people by certain viruses. And all of a sudden now, I mean, this guy's a healthy guy. And how did this happen? Yes, I see that he does smoke cigars. New at it. But I start to wonder, was this by design? Did they have this plan against him? But I make mention of this again. I don't agree with everything he says and does, but my watching his videos that are now being shared on the internet, in my recommendation list, shares some wisdom about money, and it's a damn shame that a lot of his followers are not people from America, but Europeans. And I do like the fact that, he didn't come from money. His father's a Black American, and they did not have money at all. And things that were done to his father. And I understood what happened. I mean, the father was one of those highly intelligent Black men, and he was in the Air Force. Yes, the Air Force is known for its bigotry against Black people specifically. I was in the Navy. Air Force it has its reputation, to be honest. And there was an incident that happened. They put up charges against the father, and they screwed the father over, and he stood his ground, but it was a price. It's a price to. There's a price to pay if you are an intelligent Black man in America, or Black woman. Yes, some of us are highly intelligent, but there's only so much at times we could do when you're in the system, and the incident that happened to him in the military when he was being processed out. Yeah, they labeled him. Yes, they did. They labeled him, and but I could admire the fathers. Say he's not gonna bend a knee. But yeah, so money was an issue once he got out of the military, and he has his family to support, and the parents to separate, and the children moved, left with the mom back to Europe. The mother is a European, a white European, and he left America when he was 10 years old. So he's lived most of his life away from America, you know, in Europe. Um, and you know, they didn't have a pot to piss in. You know, they were poor, and he knew he wanted to be independent. And I don't agree with everything how he initially got the money, but he started to also teach people how to make money. And he was becoming very popular. And now, you know, he made the mistake, I think. He didn't know who he was dealing with. He just saw this young girl, said what, you know, who is like the poster child for the climate change. This person has clout, evidently. And it looks like that her connections uh, got him in the hold right now. And now, so now his freedom is gone. He has a health issue, and being locked up is not going to help that health issue, whatever what that health issue is. And I feel badly for him. Um, I do feel badly for him. Uh, I really hope that he recovers, whatever what he has. I hope he recovers, and I hope he, you know, that the, you know, if he did what they claim he did, then he would have been fully charged. But there's no charge. And remember, he was arrested last year in April. So they had from April till, you know, that's almost a year. That's 10 months ago. 10 months to find some charge against him. See, when you're not liked, see, that's another thing about life, what's happening. That you could be the smartest person. You could be maybe one of the richest person. But when you screw, when you offend the wrong person, your money may not be able to save you. And that they can confiscate your money. They confiscated his money. They're confiscating his cars. And I think his mother, he bought a house for his mother. And I think they said they confiscated his house. Isn't that something? They don't want this guy to pop up. Yeah, it's no coincidence that all of a sudden he has a lesion in his lung. There's no freedom, people. You know, yeah, we have to, you know, all of us, we have to be careful that, see, we're never too big. We're never too big. And these celebrities, these singers are never too big because, see, it seems like someone is always owning somebody else. And they force you to say or do things. And maybe initially it might seem fun, like a game, but then it becomes not a game, it becomes real. And it's sad. It's very, very sad about this. Yeah, these are signs of the time. And when your freedom is taken away, he has no freedom, you know, he cannot leave the country. He had several passports. So here, a lot of us are getting multiple citizenships, multiple passports. You have your money in different countries. But if you piss off the wrong person, or someone who just doesn't like you, or you live in a domain that wants to oppress you, or make you an example to other people to keep you all in check. That's what I'm talking about. So you see how everything I talked about basically is all tied in. It's about freedom. Whether you work in Dubai or not in Dubai, whether you're in the rap hip hop industry, music scene, and what's happening there when you cannot really be an independent. You're being forced to sign a contract, or let's say in order to get the contract, you have to do something with your body with another person. You know what I'm getting at? Yeah. I heard the other day that one of these famous, um, I think it's more R&B. He came out in the 1980s, and he was groomed by one of the hip hop singers, the promoter. And that when he was 14 years old, he had to live with this person, what they call grooming. What is a grown man doing with a 14-year-old? People, well, that 14-year-old is now an adult and is married with children. And someone asked him in the interview, would you have your children uh, do a grooming session, with that person? He said, hell no, hell no. And he meant it. He was very disturbed when he said how he said it. Yeah, so he's being quiet about what happened to him. But it seems like the rumors and about this groomer and others, I'm sure then he's not the only victim. Yeah, a sacrifice, all right. People, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. People who want to be musicians and um, the music field and Hollywood and modeling, they all seem to be related, you notice? They all have to go through a grooming process. And then you're like a slave. And they reward you with money, but there's a point where you say, enough is enough. You say, I don't want this anymore. Or like Britney Spears. I've heard of Britney Spears growing up the past 20 years. I didn't believe all the, I thought in the around 2005, 2006, I thought all what was being said was just hype, that it was just for ratings. But what happened in court? She had to go to court was it last year or the year before? And what happened to her? All those allegations were not rumors, but was a reality, her reality. So it doesn't matter what your color/race is. It happened to Britney Spears by her own father. Isn't that sad, people? Being sold by your own parents. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Yeah, she just wants to live a simple life. Peace and blessing be unto her. I don't have any of her records. I mean, I don't, I'm much older than her. I'm not really into the music scene, but you want people's safety. And again, I know of that singer for past 20 years. Yet people are being abused. People are being abused, and the new slave are millionaires now. The new enslaved are now millionaires. They just have a big, long leash, but they are in prison. And many of them are doing drugs to cope. Isn't that sad? Yeah, very sad. People, invest in yourself. Do your body right. Is this okay to splurge on certain foods, whatever? Like I splurged with the big hamburger, organic hamburger yesterday for my 20th anniversary in this building. But I talk about really enjoy enjoy your health, keep your health what you can with your health. Limit exposure to certain people. Some people may be dangerous to be around, and a lot of things are just illusion. Yes, that person's wearing a fancy looking watch. Well, you know, a lot of watches could be counterfeit, just like those counterfeit handbags, counterfeit sneakers, you know. Get to, be more human based, be focus on humanity. Be be a good person. Be a good you, because uh, who you're going to have ultimately is just yourself. You may not have, excuse me, you may not have money anymore. They can pull that because now everything's going digital. And again, you offend the wrong person on social media. Oh, the social media. What happened earlier last year? Didn't they? Oh, I don't want to give the wrong thing, but it confiscated a person's money. Like they have a money account, and they penalized the person and took money out from the account. And it's a private agency. It's not like the government, not even the government, but now these corporations are flexing their muscles and they're acting like they are the new government. And in essence, they are. Some of these institutions, now digital companies, are controlling your finances. And you notice that people are being forced now. I mean, I can't stop watching YouTube without an advertisement coming on to do, invest in this thing, this internet thing. You don't have to lift a finger, right? You hear a lot of those stuff where they want you to be now uh, focused on the internet to make all your money, and or your um, holding your money, and they could now confiscate your money. Yeah, this is awful. Yeah, I want to be more people centered. I mean, I love my solitude, but I see that get to know people and be careful who's in your circle. If you have one good friend, that is you're lucky. Because a lot of people, a lot of those celebrities claim that they got all these friends. They're not friends. They're people who are just riding on their coat tails, right? Their coat tails. And once the money or the prestige wears off, they jump on somebody else and leech off of them their so-called success or money. Yeah, this money thing, this whole world is becoming more and more of a false reality. They want you entrapped on the internet and believe in its messages. Get Try to get out there. Try to get out into real nature if you can find it. Real trees, real grass. It one day might be taken away from you. The ability to breathe in air. They're implementing back in some places. If you want to go overseas, oh, you have to have the shots. Oh, you got to wear mask again. Okay? People don't want you to be able to breathe air. They don't want you to breathe. If you don't breathe well, you think that's going to help your cognition to be able to think? It's not going to help. It's going to make you sicker, in my opinion. If you don't get oxygen, you're going to get sick. So when you have the opportunity, go out there, breathe in that clean air if you can. Go out there. Get to know your family. If you have if you're in good terms with your family, you know, sit, get reacquainted with them. Help each other out if you can. Yeah, yeah, because it's things are becoming so removed. They want to confuse you. They want to confuse your identity. Don't you notice that a lot of people they don't know what they are anymore? That's deliberate. They want to confuse you, then they control you. Please, please don't lose your identity. Yes, go within. And that's what I should do today. Go within. Yeah, it was raining outside. I don't know if it's going to clear up, but it was raining early this morning. And so my plan was just to stay indoors. Yeah, get to know yourself. Love yourself. Eat right. Drink plenty of water. Love yourself and love your community. Pray for your community. Yes, I was moved to pray this morning, hearing all this stuff on the internet about things, and I felt so grieved. Pray for protection. Yeah, regardless what your faith-based system is, pray for protection. Pray for your shielding. Pray to uplift the spirit of people. Do so, because someone wrote on my comment, this is warfare. This is modern day warfare. War over your mind. Yeah, pray for protection over your mind, to control your mind. To be able to control your own mind. People want to control the way you think, the way you feel. Yeah, pray about it. Pray for you. Pray to your Creator's protection to be protected. Do so. Yep, I felt a little better after I did that because I was feeling funny. I said, yes, we watch the videos and then we may get depressed, but when that happens, you say, wait a minute, take back your power. Take back your power. Remind yourself you always have time to take back your power. Don't let them make you feel like you're helpless. With your last breath, speak words of power over yourself and over your family. Yes, that you can do. And hopefully your higher power, your Creator, will kick in and preserve you. Yes. As for preservation over you and your loved ones, we need to do this because there are rainy days ahead. And I don't want any of us, including myself, to be destitute. Yeah, the traveling arrangements, things are changing rapidly. Please, if you can, get your passport. I got my new passport a year ago. Get it at least as a backup plan. Try to save up money, and cook your food. Save more money and cook your own food. You could look at videos on the internet how to make certain food. Let's say you have a foods that you like that cost a lot of money. Well, maybe you can make it yourself. Sometimes I get home, I feel like homesick for certain foods, find out how to make it and make it yourself. Yeah, I made my hamburger. Yeah, I make it. People who make their own food do live longer. Yeah, cook your own food and live longer than the other people of your community. You're going to find that. You find people who eat out a lot are sickly people. Are sickly. Yeah, my mother is 94 years old. Yep, and she cooked her food. And yes, once in a while she used to eat the little hamburgers, right? Like many of us, we had hamburgers before at those fast food joints. But overall, my mother cooked her own food. Yep. And I know someone who didn't cook a lot of their food and they passed away. Diabetes. That diabetes is a horrible disease, man. It ravishes your body. It ravishes slowly. It's a slow death. Yeah, I really want to, diabetes runs in my family. And my father died of diabetes related illnesses. And so I'm prone to that. And but I speak words of wellness upon my body right now. There is wellness over my body. And I want to preserve what I have and keep it in check. Yes. Yeah, I pray over my food. Yes, I do. I know it might seem silly to some people, but yes, I pray over my food and give thanks because it is giving me something. Yeah, food could be your enemy or friend, so you make peace with the food that you're eating. Yeah, I talk to nature. I say good morning to the trees, good morning to the grass, to the animals. Yeah, I say good hello. I want favor from nature. See, whatever what sustains you, nature sustains us. And so stay close to it because if you go against nature, it will go against you. Yes, that is my belief. Stay close to nature as much as you can. Respect nature and talk to nature. You know, I before I go out of my apartment, I pray to the universe for protection. Yes, I do. A shield of invisibility to make me invisible to my enemies. Yeah, you start speaking these things because it is warfare out there, spiritual warfare. And so I make sure that I speak these words. Yes, I want favor from the Creator and nature. I want them to protect me. I want them to be able to provide food for me when I need food, to give me the money to buy food. And when you bless your food, you feel like something's good coming into you. Yeah, start giving thanks, people. And if you do get sick, at least you know that you did your best. Do what you can do, people. Yeah. Love yourself. Love what goes into your body. Love your neighbor also. Yeah. Love your neighbor also. You know, and you see in your neighborhood going downhill, start speaking words of healing over your community. That power we do have. So let's start doing it. I'm tired of seeing all these bad things over the internet or when I go outside. The power is in us. Let's start speaking words of power over our lives, the lives of our loved ones, and our community. Let's stop the insanity, people. Let's stop the insanity. Let's start speaking words of beauty and love instead and promote that. Yeah, let me know what you think. Hope I motivated you and got you to think and try to plan ahead certain things. Yeah, think words of life and liberty for you. I thank you again. And those of you who like this channel and want to promote, support this channel, you can do so by PayPaling me. I have a PayPal account. To go to that account, on my channel, Spirit Journey, on the top right of the banner, you will see my PayPal me link. Just press on the link, follow the prompt, and any amount would be greatly appreciated. And I thank you in advance for your blessing upon me. Peace, love, joy, power, and wellness onto the hearer and viewer of this live stream. I thank you again for watching and for the thumbs up. Peace, love, and joy again. Take care. Until next time.